Alright, so I'm just another hangout live stream watching traffic signal phasing at Millwood Rd Laird Dr. So for Millwood Road eastbound, we have a leading pedestrian interval, and this is actually a spot where I do support a leading pedestrian interval because nobody can go straight, and you have to turn into the conflicting crosswalks as well. Oh, I actually didn't know that the green light extends to make up for the lost 5 seconds. That's actually good. I never knew that before. We have also a right turn overlap for Millwood Road with the existing protective permissive left turn phase for Millwood Road. This left turn phase is callable and extendable, as you can see. The all red interval is 4 seconds after the left turn green arrow terminates. And in my opinion, the cycle link here actually operates very well here. Like, it's not that long, but I think it's long enough to pretty much allow for everyone to clear the left turn lane for oncoming traffic and for cross traffic coming from eastbound Millwood Road. In case you didn't know, Millwood Road actually turns left right here, and if you go straight, it becomes Laird Drive. And also, the leading pedestrian interval for eastbound Millwood Road is callable, which means it doesn't come on if there are no pedestrians crossing, to also maintain efficiency. With that being said, this intersection also operates as semi-actuated here. And if nobody has crossed the detection zone, I don't know what type of detection zone they use, but if nobody crosses into the detection zone, I can't really... This is the camera actually right here that triggers the protective permissive green arrow. It's sort of like a laser circular camera here. That's how the signals determine, this is the detector of how the signals determine if the protective permissive green arrow comes on. As for cross traffic on Millwood Road, they have that same type of camera right here, and the detection zone is where the first motor vehicle stops. The detection zone for the protective permissive green arrow, I think, is where the third vehicle stops. The way to find out is you look straight at the camera and then kind of trace your eyes in the direction it's staring at. So somewhere right around here, I think, where the detection zone is. Yeah, that seems a little accurate. Alright, so the green interval is probably not going to be long for Millwood this time, because it is, well, let's see, can the right turns extend the green interval? Yes, right turns can. And if nobody enters this detection zone here for 3 seconds, then it triggers the signals to turn yellow early. And because there's nobody coming from eastbound Millwood Road, then the signals decided here to turn red sooner. So just a quick overview of the signal phasing. For Millwood Road eastbound, there is a leading pedestrian interval, and yes, this is a spot where I do want a leading pedestrian interval for eastbound only, because you have to turn into the conflicting crosswalks, and yeah, there's no through movements allowed, basically. It's also callable, which means that this intersection operates as semi-actuated. as for the protected permissive left turn for Millwood Road, it's also callable and it's extendable. I haven't quite figured out how long the maximum green time is, but because it's a weekend, it's Sunday today, so it won't be as long as you see it during rush hour on weekends. So there's no pedestrian call, so the walk signal and the LPI doesn't come on. Dang, I was hoping it would wait for the Nova bus. Oh well. Come on, please give it the right turn overlap. Awesome, you gave it the right turn overlap. So yeah, this is the protected permissive left turn phase for Millwood, which also has a right turn overlap for Millwood. Millwood actually comes from northbound, and Millwood Road actually turns left. If you go straight, Millwood Road turns into Laird Drive. So the southbound's green time shouldn't be as long this time, since there's a left turn call that was on. Or maybe it will, because there was no pedestrian call for the LPI. And there's the 88B Nova bus traveling the opposite way. Is he gonna make the light, or is he gonna try and go for? He's gonna try and trigger the leading left. Awesome. I always love seeing TTC buses getting the leading left turn green arrow. I'm going to take a look and see if any vehicles are right in the path of the camera the way it's looking. I think the Nova bus is in the path. Okay, good, he is. That's everyone in the left turn lane. Alright, this time there is a pedestrian call for Millwood, so we'll get to see the LPI come on. Alright, let's see the leading pedestrian interval come on. There it is. Again, like I said, this is a really good spot to have a leading pedestrian interval here, because everyone has to turn into the conflicting crosswalks and nobody can go straight, so I support this leading pedestrian interval. And also the fact that it operates more efficiently than most of them, where it's also callable because the intersection is semi-actuated, and how if there's a leading pedestrian interval, the green light extends by another few seconds to make up for that lost 5 seconds from the leading pedestrian interval. Alright, the left turn lane is full this time, so there's definitely got to be a protected permissive left turn phase here. Yes, okay, good. Maybe we'll get to see the maximum green time. Alright, that's the maximum green time, because there's one person left in the left turn lane who didn't make it, but he's not gonna jump ahead, so all good. Now, at this time, the green light should not be as long for oncoming traffic this time, since everything was maximized this time for green time that's callable. Come on, turn. You know the Toyota is stopping. Zero, 1, 2, 3. No, I counted too fast. I know it's 3 seconds though. I'm pretty sure for how long the signals wait. Okay, good. The left turn lane is full again, so we get to see the left turn phase. And the right turn overlap. Alright, that Toyota van is the last one, so now the left turn phase is going to terminate. Alright, sometime about now is when, yes, I was going to say sometime around now is when the countdown should start. Alright, we're going to start the red interval here with 2 cars in the left turn lane. I don't know if that second car is in the detection zone. Should be. I wonder if that's going to cut it. I'm pretty sure that the laser camera should be able to tell if that driver, if these people are in the detection zone here. Okay, good. It counted. And there's only 3 cars in the left turn lane this time, so the green arrow won't be as long as you'd normally see it. Which means more time for southbound on Laird Drive. At most intersections, I typically prefer there to be a no right turn on red, but I guess it depends on the time of day if it would make sense or not. Most of the time I would prefer a no right turn on red at this intersection, but I guess when, like you just saw, when there was not really much oncoming southbound traffic, it would kind of make sense to allow it. I just don't really trust drivers in the right turn lane because it's a little more challenging to see from this angle with the lampposts in the way. Good. Looks like the southbound's not southbound. It looks like the eastbound's green time is going to maximize, which should increase the chances that there will be a left turn call. I really hope that the left turn call comes on, because if there's no left turn call, there's a leading pedestrian interval, by the way, for both directions for the main road, and which I really don't like the LPI for Laird and Millwood, but you won't usually. But luckily for drivers, you won't usually see it come on because there's usually a left turn call. And this left turn call here omits the leading pedestrian interval in both directions. Look at that entitled, annoying idiot e-biker. E-bikers are the worst at following the rules based on my experience. Like, they're even worse than drivers and pedestrians. He thinks because he's a vehicle, he has the rights to go by the green ball for northbounds, but it's totally false. If you're using a crosswalk, you're supposed to abide by the pedestrian signals. If you're in the northbound lanes, then that's when you abide by the yellow vehicle signals. All right, here comes a bunch of drivers entering the left turn lane. Maybe we'll get to see the left turn green arrow time maximize then. good. Lots of people coming in the left turn lane. So we'll get to see the left turn phase come on for eastbound as well as the right turn overlap. I mean, the northbound left turn phase as well as the eastbound right turn overlap. Okay, that's everyone, so it's going to change now. Alright, the left turn lane is full. So there's the green arrow. I also really want there to be a no right turn on red for southbound as well. In particular during this protected permissive left turn phase, or if there's a pedestrian call during the eastbound phase. The all red interval is 4 seconds, which is why drivers think they have more time to clear when the green arrow terminates. No, there's not many. Well, there's 2 people in the left turn lane. Is there going to be a third car? Okay, good, there's going to be a third car. There's still going to be a third car. There's that leading pedestrian interval because it's been called. Again, I love this leading pedestrian interval. It operates more efficiently than most that you'd find in Toronto. Don't worry, drivers, I'm not crossing. It may look like I'm standing right at the edge of the intersection, but I'm actually standing all the way here. The reason I just can't, it's not letting me zoom, it just doesn't let me zoom out all the way. And that's what makes it look like I'm standing right at the edge. But really, I'm standing right here. There's not many people in the left turn lane. I don't want the leading pedestrian interval to come on for Laird and Millwood. But what I'm going to do is to reduce the chances of a leading pedestrian interval to come on due to no left turn call. I'm going to push the button like I did. That's going to make the green time longer for eastbound, and hopefully that'll increase the chances that there will be at least 3 vehicles in the left turn lane. But it doesn't look like that's going to be the case. Yeah, see, that's the last vehicle, so it's going to extend. There's only 1 driver, so there's going to be an LPI this cycle for Laird and Millwood. There's not usually, the thing is, most people go straight for southbounds, and like, because right turns are allowed on red for southbounds, there will almost always be the case where the first 1 or 2 vehicles are not turning right. So I don't like that leading pedestrian interval that I just saw for Laird, but I love the one for eastbound though. What I have yet to see in person is the pedestrian hand signal go back to the walk. Okay, good. We're starting off the red interval with at least 4 cars in the left turn lane. So there will be a left turn called this cycle. Oh yeah, that left turn lane is looking full. All right, this time we should see the green arrow come on. Okay, good. And you know what that means? No leading pedestrian interval this cycle for anyone on Millwood and Laird, northbound, southbounds, that is. Because this left turn call, the left turn green arrow protector permissive actually omits the leading pedestrian interval in both directions for Laird and Millwood. And that's something that I pretty much love about this left turn call. I mean, I love the LPA for eastbound. I just don't like it for northbound and southbound. But this would be a case where they could actually technically make the green arrow fixed time and come on every cycle, so that the leading pedestrian interval would never be coming on without actually having to remove it itself. Left turn lane again. Let's see that right turn overlap come on. There it is. I don't see anyone entering the left turn lane, which means we're likely not going to get to see the protected permissive left turn phase come on, which means there will be an LPI. But to reduce the chances of that, I'm going to actually call the pedestrian signal so that the light will be red longer for Laird, so that it increases the chances that there won't be a leading pedestrian interval for northbound and southbound. So I'm going to try and see if I can stop it from coming on myself. Okay, there's one in the left turn lane. Nope. One is all we're gonna get. Again, the first 2 cars were not turning, so that LPI shouldn't have came on, in my opinion. Oh good, we actually have someone that properly yields. Alright, I'm going to call the pedestrian walk signal again, because I really don't want northbound and southbound to get the leading pedestrian interval, so I'm going to do that in hopes that it increases the chances. There's not many people in the left turn lane. But as you can see here, there's only 4 vehicles waiting eastbound. Well, 5 now. But if I didn't call the pedestrian walk signal, that LPI wouldn't have came on, and that means these drivers wouldn't have been able to extend the green light in time. And if I call the walk signal, that means the red light is longer for north-south, and it increases the chances that there will be a left turn call, like what I just did. So because, actually thanks to me, there's no leading pedestrian interval this cycle, because I made the red light longer for northbound, southbound, so that there's more time for vehicles to trigger the left turn call, so that the leading pedestrian interval can be omitted in both directions for Laird. And it looks like this time there's going to be a pedestrian called by someone else. Yeah, as you can see, once again, there's only 2 vehicles waiting eastbound, and because someone else calls the pedestrian signal, it means that they would have went 5 seconds later, and that means that, well, I don't know if the green light would have actually extended due to those vehicles, but let's see. Actually, I think it might have extended to the maximum anyways. The left turn lane is full though, so we'll get to see the protected permissive left turn phase come on again. And the maximum time for the protected permissive left turn phase has been reached. There's still quite a bunch of vehicles left in the left turn lane waiting. Oh yeah, there's more people entering the left turn lane. I'm not gonna call the pedestrian walk signal for eastbound this time, because there's enough to trigger the left turn phase for sure next time. I don't know if any of these vehicles are off the detection zone. The way they're stopped so far apart makes me question if... Okay, good, it still triggers the green arrow. And again, the maximum time has been reached. I feel like the cycle length is really good though for weekends, for how the signal phasing operates. We definitely have enough people in the vehicles in the left turn lane to trigger the protected permissive left turn. And it looks like that's going to be everyone. And that's everyone in the left turn lane. Well, except that person that just arrives. There's the 56 Lee Side Nova bus heading to Donlan Station. Where are you stopping for? There's no one crossing. Right turn overlap. Right turn overlap. Let's go. Come on, you have a right turn green arrow. Let's go, driver. Just glad there was nobody behind that driver because the green arrow wasn't as long this time. There was a small motorbike that was in the left turn lane, and probably it was not heavy enough to trigger the green arrow to extend. Alright, turn into the right lane if you're turning right now. Okay, good. Because the right lane is the only lane that's clear. Okay, good. We got more people entering the left turn lane as usual. The left turn lane typically builds up fast during the day, as you can see right here. It's probably going to get to the maximum green arrow time again for the left turn phase, unless a driver in the left turn lane leaves a gap of 3 seconds or more. Uh-oh, he's leaving a 3-second gap. Wake up, driver, you're gonna make the green arrow shorter, like that. So yes, you heard that correctly. If the green arrow for left turns is extendable, the detection zone is about somewhere right there. And if nobody is in the detection zone for 3 seconds during the left turn phase, it makes the green arrow end sooner. Which means for distracted drivers, not only are you holding up traffic, you're also making the green arrow shorter. If you don't go right away and you leave a gap of 3 seconds, it'll cause the green arrow to terminate sooner, as well as holding traffic back. On the bright side, it's going to increase the chances that there will be a left turn call next cycle, because there will be more people in the left turn lane this time. And if you're someone that loves leading left turn green arrow phasing, then this stream is for you as well. Because I'm personally one of those people that is a huge advocate for leading left and right turn green arrow phasing. And as well, I'm an advocate for leading through intervals. But I'm the opposite for leading pedestrian intervals, except where through movements are not allowed or possible. With that being said, I want leading pedestrian interval at this intersection for eastbound only, but I do not want one for northbound and southbound, for example. A leading through interval would be better, actually, in that case, as well as keeping the leading left turn the way it is. They could just convert the one of the four sections, relocate it to the right side as a primary signal, and then rotates the left turn green arrow 90 degrees clockwise, and then purchase, I guess, 2 5-section signal heads that will display a green ball, a through arrow, and a left arrow. Well, first it will display a through and left green arrow, and when it terminates, it could display a through only arrow, then the green ball. As well as the opposite direction, they could actually reuse both of those. Well, one of those. If they ever put a leading through interval here, both of the existing 4-section signal heads right here for northbound could be reused. One of them can be reused as the primary signal where the 3-section currently is, and another one could be reused as the secondary or primary signal head for southbound. They'd only have to purchase 1 new 4-section signal head and 2 5-section signal heads. And that's the maximum green arrow time. Perfect timing for that because there's nobody else in the left turn lane. Everyone made it. I really hope the cyclist is able to trigger the green arrow. It's somewhere either between the cyclist and the red car. Okay, good, it triggered. Even cyclists get to enjoy the leading left turn. I love it. I used to turn left at this intersection myself when I was doing my bike rides. And that's the maximum green arrow time right here. worry, you're gonna get the right turn overlap. Let's go, driver, you have a right turn green arrow. Go, it's a right turn overlap. DCBW 212, that's his license plate. Ooh, the leading girl, the left turn might barely be able to get triggered. I thought it wasn't going to trigger this cycle, but we're lucky that everyone going northbound is currently in the left turn lane. I mean, luckily for northbound and southbound drivers and bicycles and TTC users. Okay, never mind, the green arrow didn't come on. Someone must have not been on that detection zone. At least the drivers properly yields to pedestrians. And again, every time so far today when I was here, whenever a driver was properly yielding to pedestrians, it had nothing to do with the leading pedestrian interval. It was always along after the green interval came on and traffic started to go. Drivers are blocking the intersection. There's a parking lot entrance right there, that's the challenge. If someone leaves a gap to clear the intersection, then that might not trigger the left turn green arrow because you're sort of in the detection zone if you're blocking that driveway. So I kind of think, I wonder if it would be a good idea if they relocate to the detection zone to where the first vehicle stops. I really hope that's something they do. Because if they relocate the detection zone right here, where the first car stops, then triggering the green arrow means you wouldn't have to block that driveway. They did that for Danforth Avenue at Pharmacy for eastbounds. The detection zone used to be where the third vehicle stops, but because there's an intersection that the detection zone is in, triggering the green arrow would require blocking the intersection, so they relocated the detection zone to where the first vehicle stops. There's nobody in the left turn lane as of now, but there is a pedestrian call. So I'm hoping it's going to increase the chances that there will be a left turn call. Okay, good, there is. Come on, we need 2 more in the left turn lane. Okay, good, 2 more enter the left turn lane. There's the 88A South Leaside Nova bus. And that's going to be everyone in the left turn lane. It is all clear. There's a northbound 88B South Leaside Nova bus. I really hope he can trigger the green arrow. It's going to be trickier with that cyclist though, because they're not as heavy. But the Nova bus, I really hope that Nova bus counts as 2 cars, because I really want that green arrow to come on. The maximum green time has been reached for eastbound without a pedestrian call. That's not something I've been seeing as often. Okay, good. The green arrow comes on. And that's everyone. Left turn lane is all clear. Awesome. I think I'm gonna end the stream here because I have a bunch of other intersections to videotape today, and I don't want to be back home too late on a Sunday night. But I hope you all enjoyed the stream, and thank you for watching.